Yes, hello, and thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you very much for all the presentation. It was very interesting. So I'm not a professional. I am a mother of a 27-year-old boy with schizophrenia since the age of 17. And in 2014, in 2014, I had the chance to participate to a program of psychoeducation in the hospital Sainte-Anne to help. It's called Pro Famille, to help me with my son because I really didn't know how to behave. He had he had different attitudes. He had crises. He had fears. He had he was he had ideas of persecution. He thought people wanted to kill him. So I didn't know how to behave. So this program really helped me a lot. It was a 2-year program, pretty long. And after that program with other parents, we decided to build a Collectif Schizophrénies. We now have 9 associations, really, which we talk about schizophrenia. We're not ashamed of talking about it, to say the name, and we try to work also to talk about this disease for what it is, not for what people think it is. So it was a very good experience. But after many years, I realized that this program was interesting, but it was a bit a top-down program. It was made by a doctor and for parents. And it was a little bit, I don't know how to say it in English, but it was, you should do this, you should do that. And the example in the program were not really, I mean, sometimes I felt a little bit like my son was nothing and I didn't know how to manage. And since us parents, we spend more time with our kids than anybody else. I mean, they usually stay at our house and they have all this crisis when we are here. So we've decided, a group of parents, because when you are a parent with a child with schizophrenia, I mean, you don't just say, oh, it's a disaster. You also have to empower yourself. You also have to learn things to be, in order to communicate better with my son or with a person. So we've decided to create a new program but this time it's with nurses, with psychiatrists, and with psychologues, but especially with nurses. So this summer we worked by Zoom, and we put together our point of view, the point of view of the nurses that already make a lot of, they have lots of program in the Lyon hospital in France. And it was very interesting because we have as parents, or it could be friend, it could be neighbor. It's not only family, but it's people around the person with schizophrenia or with mental illness, we can say. It was very interesting to put together our needs, our experience, and to realize that we also have, I mean, it's been 10 years, 11 years with my son with schizophrenia. So I can humbly say that I know some things about this disease. I mean, I don't want to tell what to do, what not to do. I mean, I want to discuss about it. I don't want to be, I need to be, I need to be on the same level of with nurses or with doctors, with my son, but I don't need to be told what to do or what. So this program is very new. It has this thing about that it's made together with professional and with parents. So it talks about how to behave. It talks in different situation. It talks about to learn about the disease, of course. It talks about destigmatisation. To know, there's we have. for parents who arrive and think their son is going to become violent or something, it's also about reassuring, and it's also about having to deal with yourself and not always being on my son's back and telling him what to do, take his treatment, not take his treatment, but it's more about what I can do for myself. It was very rich information. It shows that on both sides, people around the person, professional, we have experience, and it's rich, and we can put it together, and we can create a program. And it's a short program. It's not extremely long, but the basis is all mental illness, and that it can be addiction, it can be bipolar, schizophrenia, or people with food problem, or so the first group is going to be made in January. Because of the COVID, we couldn't start. It's going to be evaluated, of course. And I'm sorry I didn't prepare anything special because I'm in the country and it was like with the COVID, but it's just to say that it's important that we parents, we're not victims. We are people, and it's something different. It's something that can be very tough, of course. But it's not something that you can come over it. You can have solution. You can be by your side with the person that has this disease. You cannot always, you can have a life. You can have a good life. And this is something that we did very quickly, just to show that it's it's a program with people with a family, and with people that work in a hospital. It's also about giving parents, they're showing parents that, they can be better, they can interact, they can also show us that there are things that we are doing that are not good at all, that we should change, that we should, but also things that we don't have to accept because it's not, so, it's also about communication with parents, with friends, with neighbors. It's also about, taking away this feeling of guilt that you can have, or shame that you can have. And it's also helps you with, to orientate yourself in this big, this community, mental community, which is very complicated. And it's also about, the thing is, which is very shocking, is that only 3% of parents are proposed a program. And when you know how helpful it can be, we wanted also to make a program which is shorter, which has the same base of mental illness, and then you can go to schizophrenia or other problematics. And it just helped me a lot to see what was a problem, what was the difficulty of nurses, what they had, their experience, their way of, the way they see things, the way they work, and to put our experience together and to build this program. Because I'm very, it's important for me not to be a top-down information. It's just, it's a bit, we all have experience, and it's better to put it together. And it's very interesting to see the way nurses behave, the way they see things, the way they think about, schizophrenia, that they talk about their patient, and it's also, and it's very interesting, and I think it will, I hope this program will be, much more, will be, I don't know how to say it, but open in different hospitals, and even out of the hospital, because sometimes parents, they don't want to go back to hospital to do this psychoéducation program. Voilà, it's okay, c'est tout.